Imagine that. A stuffed wombat production.
If you are ready, let's begin your final lesson. Imagine you're standing on the edge of a rocky precipice. The rocks are lustrous black, smooth from the weathering of countless eons. A few feet to your left is a golden bridge. It arcs gently out over the void, its far end lost from view in a shimmering heat haze. Focus. Let the scene shape in your mind. Now imagine there's something slowly lumbering across the bridge. Shield your eyes against the sun. Can you see the knight in shining armour? Good. Very good. The knight is closer now. He's not on horseback though. Instead, try to imagine that he is mounted on a waddling stegosaurus, the saddle slotted between the scales of its back. Excellent. The knight is very close now. Resist the temptation to imagine that he's armed. Yes, good. So what's he holding then? That's right. It's a spoon and a tin of baked beans. Ah, but which hand is the can of baked beans in? Yes, well done. Of course it is. Well, congratulations. You've passed your imagination test. You'll be glad to know that this play doesn't require any imagination at all. Nah, only joking. Right, let's put all this into practice. You can now sit to your imagination exam. Let's begin. Imagine there's a man reading the introduction to a play. He has a deep, rich voice and...
This is the Shirehampton Stuffed Wombat Society with their performance of Imagine That. Two men of late middle age stroll slowly along a suburban street. The unopened buds on the trees that line the street hint that spring is not far away. Ah, there's Miss Lovelace's mansion. How did your bridge evening with her go?
It was rather embarrassing. I haven't played for ages and my memory isn't what it used to be. You should have seen the hard stare Miss Lovelace gave me when we missed the opportunity to make a grand slam.
Sorry, you'll have to excuse me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't worry, the details aren't important. Suffice it to say, Miss Lovelace lent me this book, Better Bridge. I've spent the last couple of days reading it. That's why I need to swing by our house and return it.
Ah, right.
I promised I'd drop it off by 11:30 a.m. I think we're just in time.
Crumbs, what was that bright flash from her living room?
Goodness, I hope she's okay. Quick! Miss Lovelace, I'm glad you're all right. We saw a flash and then something shot out of the window.
Oh, don't worry, Major General. The experiment I was working on overloaded and blew the cranial flux inhibitor into the garden. I think I had the voltage set too high. I was just coming out to retrieve it. Did you see where it landed?
I think I saw it land in the flower bed somewhere near those daffodils.
Oh, yes. So it did. You have a keen eye, Mr. Zung. Right. Well, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my work.
Miss Lovelace, can I just return your book?
You can. Thank you. Now, I must dash. Good day.
Well, you have to admire her. She is one driven woman, and a genius to boot. Right, where shall we go next?
How about heading over to the park? We could pick up a tea from the van there.
OK, but what are we going to do about lunch? Do you fancy going to Tina's?
My place is closer. I can probably rustle up something if you like, and of course I have an endless supply of tea.
Fair enough.
I say, look, there's an unopened can of baked beans next to this tree.
So there is. It must have fallen out of someone's shopping bag.
Oh well, finders keepers, as they say. My favourite too, Heinz. Crumbs, I'm famished. I'd eat them now if I could get the tin open.
Honestly, you truly are a baked bean fanatic. I hope you wouldn't eat them with your fingers, though. That really would be quite disgusting.
Of course not. I'm not that unsophisticated. I'd want a spoon.
Well, that's a relief. Blimey, look what's on the wall here.
That's A coincidence?
Who leaves a spoon and a tin opener on a garden wall?
Divine intervention?
Seriously? I suppose you could construe it as the temptation of Zung. After 40 minutes in the wilderness, baked bean messiah Dick Zung is tormented by visions of baked beans and,
Yes, very funny. Anyway, I'll just pick...
Don't you dare start eating them in the street. If you do, I'll never speak to you again.
OK, keep your hair on. I'm not that uncouth. Right, what do you fancy for lunch? I've got beans, obviously, and soup. Oh, and some bread and cheese.
I'll have some soup, please. What type of cheese is it?
Stinking Bishop.
Ah, I'll pass on the cheese then. Anyway, I hope you enjoy those beans.
Don't worry, I will. In fact, I was only thinking about a can of Heinz beans a moment before we found that one under the tree.
That's really odd. That can opener and spoon turned up almost immediately after the concept had crossed my mind. In fact, I had that exact mental image of them being left on a garden wall.
Never. That must have been a coincidence.
Well, obviously that's the most likely explanation. I mean, you can't simply conjure things out of thin air by imagining them, can you?
I'm sure I've tried that before as a kid. You know, you imagine you've won £1 million and, of course...
Flipping heck! Where did that 50p piece appear from?
I don't know. I was just imagining having £1 million sitting on the table.
Well, don't just sit there. Try and imagine having £1 million sitting on the table again. But this time, try a bit harder.
Hang on.
Oh, that's a bit disappointing.
Come on, 10p is better than nothing. Look, if we can imagine things into existence like this, there's no end to what we might be able to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crikey, Princess Freckles. Goodness, I'm averting my eyes.
Bloody hell. What am I doing here? Where's Tutanonde Castle? Where's my bedroom? And why am I stark naked?
Mugg?
Ah, sorry.
Princess, if you go upstairs to the bathroom, you'll find my dressing gown on the hook behind the door. I hope that'll do until we can find you some more suitable clothes.
Thank you. I'll be back down shortly and I'll want to know what the hell is going on.
Well, that was embarrassing. Thank goodness you didn't imagine Lady Angela Whittlestone with no clothes on. She must be at least 90, and, to put it politely, not quite as attractive as Princess Freckles.
Cooey! Hello? Is there anyone there?
Oh, sod it. Why did you have to mention...
Ah, there you are. What am I doing here? Are we going to make another naughty movie?
Crumbs, no. You must have been,
Sleepwalking. Yes, let me call you a taxi to take you home. Dick, could you lend Lady Angela a bath towel to cover her modesty?
Just a sec, I'll be right back. Won't be long, Lady Angela. You really need to rein in your imagination. You could get us locked up at this rate.
Look, I'm sorry, but it's not that easy. I mean, suppose I tell you not to imagine a small pink china elephant.
Ah, like that one on the floor there now.
Precisely. That's what happens.
OK, so I'm trying to imagine a bottle of Pomerade and nothing is happening. Perhaps one of you could explain why I'm here.
Well, it all started when we were walking back from the park. I was hungry and a can of baked beans appeared. Then Mugg imagined a spoon and can opener. They turned up on a nearby wall.
Right, but that doesn't explain why I turned up here with no clothes on.
Ah, look, I'm really sorry.
Really?
Ouch! That hurt. Why did you slap me?
It was so much more satisfying than just imagining it. You clearly need to learn some self-control.
Yes, right. Sorry, it won't happen again.
Apology accepted. But why can you do it and I can't? I assume you haven't lost your powers. I mean, I could imagine some wonderful things.
I think we still have our powers. Let's have a go.
Ooh, look, there's a box. I wonder what's in it.
I'm hoping it's full of tins of baked beans.
Sadly not. It's just the box.
Yeah, but that's better than nothing. At least you can do it.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
I tried imagining that Princess Freckles had our powers too. Go on, Princess. See if it worked.
Okay, let me think about something I could try. How about...
Blimey, that was a quick change of clothes.
Oh, I suppose I'll have to do. Not exactly the designer outfit I imagined.
It seems there are limits to what we can imagine into existence.
What happens if you combine your efforts?
That's a really good idea. We haven't tried that.
Well, I really could do with a drink. Why don't we all try and imagine a bottle of Pomeray?
Good idea. Right, let's focus.
What happened?
It looked like a really strange shaped bottle. I don't think the glass could withstand the pressure of the champagne inside it.
I think we all imagined a slightly different bottle in a slightly different position.
OK, so let's try again. Focus on imagining a magnum of Pomeray, upright, and at this point on the table. Concentrate. I say!
Now that's more like it. Dick, where do you keep the glasses?
In the cupboard over there. Mugg, will you do the honours?
With pleasure.
How about another bottle?
Crumbs, I'm done for. I don't think I could manage any more without falling over. What I really need is a holiday, you know, sun, sand.
Sounds lovely. Bloody hell, ouch. This sand is scalding hot. Get me out of here. I'm a redhead. I burn really easily.
When I said sun and sand, I didn't mean the sodding Sahara Desert. Mugg?
Sorry. I had visions of a military exercise I was part of once.
Gold, we're going to fry if we don't get out of here soon. Someone imagine somewhere... Blimey, that wind is Baltic. Look, if this is one of your military exercises in the Arctic Circle, Mugg, I'm going to feed you to...
No!
Please tell me you didn't imagine a polar bear, Dick. What do we do?
Keep calm. Quick. Everyone focus. Imagine we're sitting round Dick's kitchen table with a nice cup of tea.
It's not as easy as you might imagine with a polar bear bearing down on you.
And relax. That was close. Lucky for me, I don't have to try too hard to imagine drinking tea in my kitchen.
Can I suggest we sober up before we try anything else?
I think that would be wise.
OK, can we agree to be a little more considered before we imagine anything too extreme?
Agreed. So, what do we all want to imagine?
Well, you can't argue with cash.
I agree. The Tooting-Dondé Castle roof leaks like a sieve. It'll cost hundreds of thousands of euros to repair it.
Fair enough. Shall we give it a go then? I suggest we do a trial run first. How about imagining a £50 note on the table?
Okay.
Right. 3, 2, 1, concentrate.
Yay.
Well, I'm blowed. Last time we tried imagining cash, we only created 50 pence. Oh, lummy, I bet we're going to be arrested now. Do you think we can unimagine it?
I think it's too late for that.
Phew. Must have been a coincidence. Either that or the universe is messing with our heads. Anyway, fortune favours the brave. How about going for a much larger amount?
What, you mean something like £1 million?
Why stop there? Why not $1 billion? I've always fancied a super yacht and a Monaco penthouse.
Hang on. Before we start imagining that sort of amount, let's check it won't fill the entire room and crush us all against the walls. Zung, do you have a pen and paper? OK, so it looks like £1 million in £50 notes would fit into a largish briefcase. So £1 billion would need a 10 by 10 by 10 stack of them.
Crikey, so there was a strong possibility we'd have been crushed.
Indeed.
OK, I'm happy to settle for £1 million, although I'd prefer euros.
Right, that's settled then. Did we have to imagine the colour of the briefcase too?
It might be a good idea. Black shouldn't tax our imaginations too much.
Good point. OK, focus, concentrate.
Wow!
Woohoo!
Oh my word, we've done it. Freckles, would you do the honours and open the briefcase?
With pleasure.
Bugger.
It's empty.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
We just don't seem to be able to focus our minds sufficiently well to make our imaginings come true.
It's a shame we don't have, a magnifying glass to focus our thoughts.
What use would a magnifying glass be?
No, hang on, Zung. I think the princess is onto something. I mean, there's nothing to stop us imagining such a device. We don't even need to know how it works, just what we want it to do.
I say, well done, Princess. My apologies for doubting you.
I'm more than just a pretty face,
OK, everyone, let's do this. Imagine an imagination focusing device on the table right here. Ready? 3, 2, 1, now.
That didn't go well. Are we supposed to assemble it ourselves?
I don't know about you, but I was imagining something that looked like a magnifying glass, with a lens.
Ah, and I was imagining a device with a screen that might allow some sort of feedback or reporting.
I'm not sure what I was imagining, but I don't think it had a clearly defined shape.
Look, is anyone any good at drawing? It would really help if we had a sketch of a conceptual model to rally round.
I'm pretty good. Dick, could you get me some paper, please?
OK, thank you, Princess. I think that picture's sufficiently detailed for there to be no wriggle room in our imagination. Right. We all ready?
Yes.
In 3, 2, 1, focus.
My word, it worked. I say, it looks very high-tech. Where did we put the on switch?
On the side. I'll turn it on.
Oh, well, that's a good start. Something obviously works.
Are we going to try for the £1 million again?
Why not? Zung, do you want to move that other briefcase?
Of course. I'll drop it off at the charity shop tomorrow. I'm sure they can sell it.
Ready?
Yes.
OK, 1 million quid in a briefcase. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, there's a message on the screen. It says, guilt limit exceeded.
Helpful, but annoying.
Do you think we'd have more success if we didn't keep trying for money?
What did you have in mind?
Well, as I said, Tooting-on-Day Castle could do with a new roof. Unfortunately, I'd need to find a photo of the castle for you to focus on.
Ah, you're forgetting that Zung and I have intimate knowledge of the roof. We were up there when Brussels tried to hijack Christmas, remember?
Perfect. So let's try that. Ready, steady, imagine.
How do we know if it worked? There's nothing on the screen this time.
Let me phone my manservant Francois. Can I borrow a phone?
Here, use mine.
Bonjour, how can I help?
Yes, Francois, it's Freckles. Where are you?
In the castle grounds, madame.
Strange question, but does the roof look any different?
Let me have a look, madame. Mon Dieu, madame, it looks different. No, how can this be?
Don't worry. That will be all. Thank you, Francois.
De rien, madame. Au revoir.
It would appear that we were successful.
Well, that's a start. I suppose it worked because it didn't have any standalone financial value. I mean, the princess isn't exactly going to sell her ancestral home, is she?
Absolutely not.
OK, so it looks like our imagination magnifier thingy here is only going to help us imagine things that are for the greater good, then.
Could be, but what sort of thing does that leave us with?
World peace?
I say, now there's an idea. Just imagine that. A world without wars, no hunger, and equality for all human beings.
Crumbs. I think we've broken our magnification device.
Never mind that, you've got red hair.
And so has Zung.
Goodness, I haven't had this much hair since... And I appear to have grown breasts too.
Bloody hell, me too.
Oh, that's disgusting. And I've got some sort of dangly thing between my legs.
Oh, bollocks.
Oh, I've got them too.
This is terrible. We've turned into identical-looking hermaphrodites. Thank goodness we all still sound different, otherwise this would be really confusing.
Is it just us, or have we turned the whole world into a monoculture?
I'll have a quick look out of the window to see if I can tell. Yeah, oh, lummy. I can see my neighbour opposite looking out of her window too. She looks just like us.
What are we going to do?
I know what you're thinking. Zung?
Yes, I'll turn on the radio.
This is the BBC emergency broadcast. Citizens are advised to keep calm and stay indoors. Please keep listening for further announcements. This is the BBC emergency broadcast.
Oh, God, we need to fix this and quickly.
Yes, we know. We all think alike now, Dum-Dum. When exactly did this all start? When did the first can of baked beans pop into existence?
Well, Mugg and I were walking back to my place for lunch.
Yes, we just dropped off that book about bridge with Miss Lovelace.
Is she that inventor woman?
Yes, I think she was in the middle of inventing something when we arrived. We saw a bright flash of light from her house, then something crashed through the window and landed in her garden.
Just a sec. Didn't she say it was a cranial flux inhibitor?
Something like that. It blew up when it overloaded.
Perhaps that started all of this.
Could be.
Then we need to
Stop that inhibitor exploding. Mugg, what time did you say you were supposed to return the book by?
11:30 a.m.
So if you could get there before that, you could stop it overloading.
Yes, I could suggest she lowers the voltage.
Look, can we hurry up? This bra is killing me.
Now you know what it feels like at the end of the day.
Come on, let's focus. Imagine it's 11:15 a.m. and we're walking towards Miss Lovelace's house. Come on, we can do this.
By Jove, I think we've done it.
Come on, we don't have a moment to lose. Quick, ring the doorbell.
Good morning, Major General, Mr. Zung. I don't wish to be rude, but I'm rather busy right now. I'd be grateful if you didn't detain me too long.
Certainly, Miss Lovelace. I've come to return the book on bridge you lent me. Here.
Thank you.
Could I just ask, are you inventing something?
Yes, I am. I was about to run some initial tests when you called.
Oh, that sounds fascinating. Would it be impolite to ask what your invention does?
Well, if it works per its design, then it'll be able to transcribe my dreams.
How exciting.
Let me guess, you're planning to use a cranial flux inhibitor to prevent the device exposing any thoughts you'd like to remain private.
How perceptive. I am indeed using a cranial flux inhibitor.
Could I suggest that you limit the voltage you use? I always start with half the voltage I initially consider.
Yes, that's probably a very good idea. You never know how much damage you might cause by overloading a flux inhibitor.
Oh, probably more than you could possibly imagine.
Well, good day, Miss Lovelace.
Good day, Major General, Mr. Zung.
Well, I must say, that was an impressive performance. I think you scored enough to secure a first-class degree. You can pick up your certificate on the way out. It's only an imaginary one, of course. Goodbye.
Imagine That was written by Tim Reed and starred Richard Hall as the announcer, Dick Zung and Lady Angela Whifflestone. Tim Reed was Timothy Mugg, Florence Smith was the imagination trainer, Jill Barrington was Miss Lovelace, Hazel Hall was Princess Freckles, Freddie Gorton was Francois, and Sarah Gorton was the BBC emergency broadcast announcer. The sound effects were not as good as you imagined, and it was a stuffed wombat production.